Tragic death of the most beautiful girl in school. An 11-year-old student found hanging in a closet. Who's responsible for her death? Don't miss out. The victim's ghost will reveal the shocking truth to the psychics. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of exclusively true and astonishing stories. People who call themselves clairvoyants investigate incredible mystical anomalies and high-profile criminal cases. Ilona Kandiuk was only 11. She was a schoolgirl and lived in a regional center in western Ukraine. Her dreams were big. She aspired to become a renowned plastic surgeon, but her life was unexpectedly cut short.
My life ended that day. I'm not living, but merely existing.
Around 2:30 p.m., the city department received a report that a child's body had been found in an apartment.
11-year-old Ilona Kandiuk was discovered hanging inside a wardrobe, on the clothing rail. The death was a result of mechanical asphyxia. The noose was made from the belt of her own robe.
The closet door was open, her legs were dangling. She was tall.
According to the official version, Ilona took her own life. However, the police have no definitive answer to why she would decide to do it.
Ilona's family and everyone who knew them were shocked. No one, not even now, can believe that Ilona would end her own life.
She was so full of life, there's no way she did this herself.
Ilona's mother says nothing foreshadowed tragedy. It was Monday, the first school day after spring break.
She left for school that morning as usual.
Ruslana also has an older son, Mikola, now 15. He attends the same school his sister did.
The mother sent both kids to school and went to work around 10 a.m. At the time, she was working as a sales consultant in a local women's clothing store.
But by 3 p.m., the woman received a devastating call. Her daughter was gone.
I don't remember exactly how it went. I remember kneeling beside her and touching her hands.
Ever since, Ruslana has mentally retraced every single day of her daughter's life. She says she still can't grasp why her cheerful and happy Ilona might have taken her own life.
I still don't know what happened. I believe she didn't do this herself. It could have been murder.
The mother claims she saw bruises and scratches on her daughter's body.
Her nose was scratched, and she had bruises on her arms, like someone had grabbed her.
What's more, Ruslana learned from her neighbors that on the day Ilona died, some of them supposedly saw a suspicious man fleeing their apartment building.
The neighbors say they saw someone running out of the building right after it happened.
To uncover the truth about her daughter's death, the devastated mother contacted the psychics.
I want to know who's responsible and what really happened.
Ala Lemchak, head of the local juvenile department of the criminal police, also requested an investigation into the death of Ilona Kandiuk. Despite a thorough investigation, the police failed to determine why the 11-year-old schoolgirl took her own life.
Maybe they'll give us new insights.
Ukrainian clairvoyant Yaroslava Fedorova and medium from Ireland Sharon Neal take up the case. Sharon Neal has been blind since birth. She first sensed her abilities while attending a school for the visually impaired, realizing she knew more than the other children.
I see a group of girls surrounding her. They grab her hair and drag her around, bullying her. It feels like they wanted to kill her.
I'm seeing an image of a man. He was near the girl before she died, watching her.
To investigate further, the psychics traveled to the town where Ilona lived.
Hello.
Please, come in.
I started tearing up. My heart felt like it was being ripped apart. I must have picked up that wave of emotion from the mother.
Since burying her daughter, Ruslana has changed dramatically. She rarely speaks with her family, cries constantly, and nearly every day visits Ilona's grave, which is 30 kilometers from the town.
She appeared in my dreams. She told me in a dream that she didn't do it herself.
Before her death, the girl saw someone. I feel male energy. The man is very suspicious. I see him loitering near your apartment door.
The day Ilona died, there were people in the apartment. I kept seeing movement, coming and going.
After Ilona was found, the apartment was filled with people: police, medics, and family friends. But was someone there when she died? School ended around 12:30. Ilona's walk home took no more than 20 minutes, so she should have arrived by 1 p.m.
Do you mind if I walk around your apartment?
Yes, of course.
Sharon, let's go check the spot where she died. I feel like I've stepped into the very day Ilona passed. She's hanging perfectly still, a horrific image. And the clothes next to her are hanging neat and straight.
When I saw her in that closet, none of the clothes had been pushed aside.
In the closet where Ilona was found, the clothes were perfectly arranged. That's unusual. In cases of hanging, convulsions can last for several minutes. The victim usually knocks things over. Ilona could have bumped or pulled down garments just inches from her. But the fact that everything stayed intact might indicate she was killed first and then hung.
Unbelievable. But who would kill the girl and then stage her death as suicide?
When your daughter died, someone was running around the apartment. I feel masculine energy. Wait, it's a blood relative. Her brother?
It turned out that everyone learned of Ilona's death from her brother, Mykola. He said that when he returned from school, his sister was already hanging.
He panicked, started running around the apartment, and called some man, but not a relative.
He's a family friend.
Around 2 p.m., Ruslana's son, Mykola, went to her friends and told them he'd found his sister hanging in the apartment.
I asked what happened. He said Ilona hanged herself.
Vyacheslav immediately told his wife to phone Ruslana and tell her of the tragedy. He called an ambulance and rushed with Mykola to the Kandyuk apartment. The man cut the belt Ilona was hanging from, but left her body in the wardrobe. The ambulance and police arrived soon after, but it was nearly impossible to get any information from Ilona's brother.
He was very reluctant to engage with us.
After his sister's death, Mykola changed drastically. He became withdrawn and now shuts down at any mention of her. The family says before Ilona's death, he was cheerful and sociable.
He entered, dropped his backpack, and saw something in the closet.
He saw her legs.
According to Mykola, when he got closer, he saw Ilona hanging.
His whole world began to collapse.
In shock, Mykola froze. He didn't call the police or ambulance, but ran to his acquaintances across the street.
But there's something your son can't explain. It's somehow connected to the front door.
Mykola allegedly doesn't remember whether the front door was open when he got home from school.
Could someone else have been in the apartment with Ilona before Mykola arrived?
Something happened to Ilona on school grounds that day.
We need to go to the school.
Once free from other duties, Alla Lemchak joins the psychics in the investigation.
We really want to understand what happened that day.
The psychics, accompanied by Ilona's mother and Alla Lemchak, head to the school where the girl studied.
Ilona's life feels like a string of disappointments.
Lately, your daughter seemed afraid to tell you something.
She was betrayed by an adult, someone from the family.
Her father.
He left you, didn't he?
I don't want to talk about that.
Later, the woman admitted that the divorce had been deeply painful. But even more devastating was the reason behind it. She discovered that the father of her children had secretly started another family, and even had children there too.
The children took it very hard.
And then I saw Ilona's image. She was floating in the air, reaching out to me. She opened her palm, and there was a dark gray stain. I couldn't even tell what it was.
What was this strange vision the clairvoyant saw, and how is it related to Ilona's death?
Something happened at school, too.
On the day Ilona died, she had a conflict with someone at school.
Can we go there?
There's a spot near the school where Ilona witnessed something, and it had influenced her death.
What did the 11-year-old girl see? Was she killed because of that?
It's a very strange place. Could you take me to the tree? Ilona had feelings for a boy, though they were innocent.
His name is Pavlo.
Pablo was Ilona's first and only love. He's 3 years older than her.
You know how it is with young feelings. They'd meet under the building once the daughter returned home with a flower.
She stands by the tree, watching him with another girl.
He was seeing his ex and just didn't want to tell Ilona.
It turned out Pablo had previously dated a girl from the same school. But when he met Ilona, he ended that relationship. However, a few months later, he began showing interest in his ex again.
He's flirting and kissing her. That was a devastating blow for your daughter.
When she saw Pavlo kissing his ex, it really upset her.
She was heartbroken. It seems as if someone here said the phrase, "Kill her." And the most terrifying is that those were girls from her school.
But who were those girls? And why did they wish death upon Ilona? From the schoolyard, the psychics followed the path Ilona usually took home.
2 girls were grabbing and beating her up.
From students at Ilona Kandiuk's school, we learned there had been a conflict between her and 2 older girls. According to one witness, it all started when Ilona told her friends she'd seen the couple kissing.
It turned out that a few hours before that, Ilona had seen her lover Pablo kissing his ex-girlfriend. And after the 4th lesson, 2 high school girls began to threaten her. One of them was Vita, Pablo's ex-girlfriend, whom he had recently started showing interest in again. The girls were furious that Ilona had told her classmates about the kiss between Pablo and Vita.
After the 4th class, they started coming up to her and really laying into her. Vita and Lesia confronted her, saying, "Why are you telling everyone what you saw?" They pulled her hair, kicked her, and shoved her into the classroom. She nearly fell. Then she sat through the lesson crying, wiping her tears. The teacher didn't see anything because no one told her anything about it.
Many children at school witnessed the conflict, but no one stood up for Ilona.
One of them ran up to her, grabbed her, and said, "Why are you following him, you bitch?" She might have had hand marks right here.
Her nose was scratched. There were marks.
Could the school conflict have escalated? Did the older girls follow Ilona home and kill her?
I don't see that the girls followed Ilona after the fight at school.
After Ilona's body was found, the investigative team went to the school to find out what had happened during her lessons. It turned out the 2 older girls she had clashed with had stayed behind for extra classes.
But who could have taken the life of an 11-year-old girl, and why?
That wasn't your daughter's first conflict. She had a serious falling out with someone else, too.
It turned out that 6 months before Ilona's death, she had already had a conflict with older girls.
She was walking home and called me, asking me to come outside, as some girls were following her. I came out. There were many girls. They argued, but it ended peacefully.
That's when the girl's spirit began to cry. Ilona whispered, "Mom didn't help."
I even scolded her. I said, "Why do you bother with them?" I say, "They'll beat you up and you'll learn a lesson."
Ilona was a charming girl. Many envied her and tried to humiliate and insult her.
According to Ruslana, the conflict with the girls who had harassed Ilona happened 6 months before her death. They hadn't bothered her since, and they had no motive to kill her.
I couldn't shake the feeling that there was a man near the girl. She met him near the entrance to the building. Sharon and I decided to go there.
Hello.
This woman is Lesia. She's Ilona's great aunt. She loved Ilona like her own granddaughter, and she too wants to know the truth about her death.
As Ilona approached the building, she was crying. Then a man came up to her.
He's local. People will recognize his face. He asked her something like, "What happened to you?" Her eyes were red from crying.
They entered the building together.
The residents noticed a stranger rushing out of the building where Ilona lived. She returned from school around 1 p.m., and an hour later, her brother found her body.
Let's go inside the building.
I'm getting very strange information about this man. She knew him. He was her acquaintance. The man carries something toxic, like poison, a pill. I think it's a drug.
Was Ilona offered drugs? But she was only 11.
Your daughter put something in her mouth. It's a small ball the man gave her. He hands it to her and runs off. She goes to the apartment. Let's go back to your place.
The black ball. She threw it into her mouth, and it's like she turned completely dark.
What was that ball? And why did Ilona take it? Suddenly, a girl approached the crew, asking to speak to the psychics.
Say everything you need to say.
Since last year, we were offered light drugs. We tried them once. I tried them, and so did Ilona and all our party.
Everyone was speechless. The project's detective later launched an investigation, and here's what he found.
One of the most common light drugs among teens is called Nazve. It comes in the form of small pellets containing tobacco, sometimes mixed with marijuana and chicken droppings. It causes mild dizziness and muscle relaxation. In some cases, it can trigger fainting. It's very cheap, making it accessible to teens.
They bought it from some older guy. I don't know who.
Could it be the man you're talking about?
He's around 25 to 30.
Do you know anything else?
No, she doesn't know more. Thank you so much.
Does it mean Ilona took the drug just minutes before her death? But toxicology reports found no substances in her system.
Traces of Nazve use are quite difficult to detect. It requires specialized testing.
I feel like screaming with pain. That's what your daughter felt.
Every day I blame myself. I feel guilty.
She was just a child. And this was how she responded to the situation she found herself in. Listen, she came home in despair.
She was suffocating from the humiliation after she was beaten in front of others and betrayed by the boy she loved. She thought no one would ever love her again. Her father had another family and children.
That day, my phone broke and I took hers to work. She didn't have a phone with her.
Ilona went to the bathroom to wash up. She tried the pellet the man had given her, and right in front of her hung the belt from the robe. Her decision was clear. She no longer wanted to live.
She took the drug to numb the pain. She knew how it worked and didn't even try to save herself.
Nazve is indeed known to have a short-term relaxing effect.
It's quite possible that her convulsions were much weaker than usual in hanging cases. The drug may have influenced it by relaxing her body.
That may explain why the clothes hanging near Ilona remained undisturbed. Does it mean no one killed the schoolgirl after all and she took her own life?
I don't want to talk anymore.
You wanted a name. But what if there isn't one?
So she did this herself, didn't she?
Nobody strangled her and hung her in the closet.
This can happen to any child going through adolescence without support from their relatives, parents, or teachers.
We're deeply grateful.
The revelation that the local teens were using Nazve shocked both Ilona's family and police officers, who promised to do everything possible to combat this growing threat among schoolchildren.
Thank you so much. You've helped me a lot. Parents need to be more attentive to their children. Sometimes we overlook things we should be paying attention to.